So everybody get on your back, get comfortable. Legs out long. Hands out next to your side. Good, and we're just going to take a minute here to close your eyes and take some nice deep breaths. So just breathing in really deep. Notice what your body feels like today. Checking in. Bringing the awareness. All right, so drop in, and then we're gonna walk our heels up toward our butt. And then we're gonna touch our knees together, walk your feet as wide as the yoga mat, or as wide as you want to. Good, and then we're gonna slouch them to the right, and slouch them to the left. Back and forth, moving with your breath. Notice what you feel in your hips, and your knees, and your ankles. And when you feel good, you're going to bring your heels back to the center of the mat. I'm going to take my socks off. And then from here, you're going to pick up your right foot, bring your right hand to the outside of your right foot, and open up your hamstring and the bottom of your foot to the sky. Good. So try to pull that downward. You're pulling your right knee toward your right armpit. Just stretching through your hip flexors, your hamstrings. And then if you want a little something extra, you can send your left leg out long and all the way down to the ground. Okay, breathe deep into that. Just opening up through the hip flexors. Find what feels good. Notice what your body's telling you. Another deep breath, and then slowly and with control release that right foot back to the mat. And we're going to do the same thing with the left. So if you want to, if this is harsh, you can leave your right leg bent. Grab the outside of your left foot, opening up to the sky. And if you want a little more here, you can make your right leg straight and long, bring your right heel all the way down to the mat. Same thing on this side, you're just opening up through that hip flexor, stretching through the hamstrings, pulling that left knee toward the left shoulder, and breathing deep into that. Bring awareness, bring the breath. Good, and then you can slowly with control release that left heel. And then we're going to try to do both feet at once for a little happy baby pose. So grab the outside of both feet, opening up through the hamstrings. Pull both knees toward both armpits. Find what feels good. If you want to kick your legs a little bit. Whatever feels good, like a happy baby. Good, breathe deep into that. And when you feel good, you can release that all the way back down to the mat. So from here, we're going to send the hands out left to right, like a T shape. And then we're going to bring both knees up to 90 degrees, low back flush with the mat. And we're going to roll both of them over to the right. So you're twisting, stacking the knees on the floor. Try to keep your shoulder blades toward the floor. And then you're going to look over your left shoulder. Breathing deep into that twist. So just notice what your body's telling you here. Notice what you feel and where you feel it. And bring that deep breathing. If you want to rest your right hand on the outside of your left knee to give you a little leverage, you can do that. Find what feels good for you. All right, then we're going to slowly, with control, roll it back up, bring it back to center, and take those knees to the left. Bringing the knees to touch the ground, stacked to the left. If you want to put your left hand on top of your right knee, you can do that. Right arm is out long, and you're going to look over your right shoulder, stretching through the neck. Find what feels good there. Should feel nice in the glutes. Should feel a nice stretch through the torso. Breathe into that. Good, then we'll bring it back to center and send the legs out long. All right, from here we're gonna rock and roll up to the sitting position. So you're gonna tuck your knees in, roll up through the spine, and come to sitting. All right, get comfortable. We're gonna come to the cross-legged position. Can you guys still see me with the sun behind? Yeah? Good. All right. So what we're gonna do here then, I think Ashley, we did this one last time, but we're gonna start by taking your right hand down to the mat. We actually want to get your right forearm to the mat. So you're gonna sink deep through your left hip, stay anchored in that sitting position, and try to bring that forward. If you can't, you can just bend the elbow. You're gonna stretch here through the side body. So let's sit in this position. Left hand goes wherever it's comfortable. If you want to leave it on your left leg to help stabilize, you can do that. Sink into that. Make sure you're anchored through the hips, keeping your nice, steady sitting posture. And we're going to take our left hand behind our ear, all the way up and overhead. That nice side body stretch. All right, find what feels good. Okay, once you're here, drop in, take a couple deep breaths. Notice what you feel, notice what your body's telling you today. And then we're gonna make your hand flat, like it's on top of a flat, invisible surface. We're gonna swing the arm forward in front. And then swing it back around. Just pretend like you're gliding your hand across that surface. Find what feels good there. Should be really great stretch through the side body, through the upper back, the lower back. And then when you get into a good rhythm of that, next time you come around and your hand is up and overhead, you're going to open up through the chest a little bit and the shoulder. Again, working in your own range of motion. Find what feels good. Should feel really nice. Make sure your neck is nice and long, supported. Nice deep breaths. Okay, we'll take a couple more if it feels good. And then we'll slowly, with control, bring it back to center. Take a second here, bring palms together at the heart, close your eyes. Stack head over heart, heart over pelvis. Nice deep breaths. Just noticing how you feel, bringing your awareness to what your body's telling you. Acknowledge those sensations, those endorphins. Anchoring through the hips. Staying mindful, staying synced up with the breath. We're going to take it to the other side. So when you're ready, left hand comes to the mat, and we're going to slide it out, bringing left forearm to the mat, if you can. Anchoring through the right hip. Try to stay stable in your sitting posture. Take a second here, find what's comfortable. This side might be a lot different from the other side. So you're anchoring through the hips. Getting that nice low back stretch. Syncing up with your breath. And when you feel stable and synced up, you're going to take your right hand behind your right ear, slowly reach all the way up and over. Big, big stretch. And find that invisible tabletop and slide your hand along the top of that. All the way to center. All the way back. Find what feels good. Notice the sensations. Moving with the breath. Your body will tell you what you need here. When you feel good, your next time around, you're going to open up through the chest and shoulder. Nice big stretch. And swing your hand back around. Just following your breath. All right, take a couple more big, big stretches, big breaths. Big Sunday morning stretch. And then slowly, with control, we're going to bring it back to center. Palms together at the heart. Take a second. Recenter, reground, sync up with the breath. Just absorb those nutrients, feel those endorphins. All right, then you can bring your hands to your knees. We're going to roll up through the shoulders, nice and slow, squeezing together at the top, rolling them down the back, massaging the traps. Find your own rhythm. Just moving with your breath. Find what feels good. Giving yourself a little trap massage. And when you feel good about that, we're going to reverse it. Bring them back to front. Squeezing at the top. All right. When you got what you need there, we'll go through some neck rotations. So we're going to very slowly use the tip of your nose to draw little tiny circles clockwise. Just pretend you're drawing circles in the air with your nose. You can make those circles bigger and bigger. Just moving with your breath. Find what feels good. And just keep widening that circle until it's as wide as it can go. Adults, notice the sticking points, anything that isn't smooth in that rotation. Your body's trying to bring your attention to that, so focus on it. And then take it in the other direction. So nice big circles to start. Spending time on anything that sticks or is uncomfortable. Bringing your awareness. And then maybe we'll do a little upward, downward movement. Straight up, straight down, tucking the chin. Again, stretching through the traps, which tend to be a big source of tension. If you carry tension in your neck and shoulders, that's actually your trapezius dorsi. So we're going to stretch through that. And then maybe a little left to right. Notice what you're feeling there. Always mindful of the breath. Nice posture, head over heart, heart over pelvis. All right, when you feel good, we're gonna take the right hand out to the right, and you're gonna flip up your wrist. And we're just gonna lower that down to hover just above the floor, so straight arm. And you're gonna lean your head and neck to the left. So find what feels good here in this range. Whatever helps you stretch through the neck. If you tuck your chin inward toward your chest, you'll get a deeper stretch through the traps. Should feel really nice. There's no forcing or cranking your neck here, but if you want a little more pressure, you could take your left hand, bring it to your right ear, and just let it rest gently. Bring the breath, keep breathing. Notice what your body's telling you. When you feel good, bring it back to center. Take a second to realign, sync back up with the breath. And we'll take it to the other side. So left hand out, flip that wrist up. You're gonna slowly lower till you find a nice tension point. You should feel it through the forearm. And then you're gonna lean your head to the right over your right shoulder. Again, if you want that trap stretch on the left, you're gonna tuck your chin a little bit. Find what feels good for you here. Remember, both sides are different probably, so it might look different on one side than it does on the other. Just let your body tell you what needs attention and bring your awareness. Staying synced up with the breath. When you feel good, we'll come back to center. Nice deep breathing. Let's take a second to just extend the arms straight up overhead. Nice big stretch. And when you're at your biggest stretch, reach a little bit higher. A little bit higher. Breathing deep. And then keep your hands up while you listen. We're gonna slowly release. Bring the right hand behind. Left hand is gonna go to the right knee. You're gonna plant that right hand behind you. Sit up and twist. Looking over your right shoulder. Breathe into that. Again, find what feels good there. Remember, if you tuck the chin, it'll give you a nice stretch through the back of the neck, the traps. Open up through the chest, the shoulder. Twisting through the spine. When you feel good there, we're gonna slowly bring it back to center. One more time with the big stretch overhead. Take your time getting there. Deep breaths. And on the release, right hand comes to left knee, left hand comes behind. Plant that behind you. Sit up and twist. Looking over your left shoulder, tuck the chin if you want to. Bringing the breath. Twisting through the torso. Feel good, come back to center. And then we will swing forward onto all fours and do our cat-cow spinal flexion. So you're gonna start in a tabletop position, which is just all fours, palms underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And we're gonna do a little cat-cow. So you're gonna start by breathing deep, dropping the belly. Tilt your pelvis forward, looking upward. That big inhale should stretch through the abdominal wall. And then on your exhale, you're gonna arch inward, bringing the abdominal wall up toward the spine, pressing away from your yoga mat. Fully exhaling. And follow your breath on your inhale. Breathe deep, drop the belly. Stretching through that abdominal wall. And on your natural exhale, pushing it out, pushing away from your yoga mat, arching through the upper back like a Halloween cat. Follow your breath. Come back to tabletop and we'll swing the hips to the right. Look back over your left shoulder at your left foot. And same thing on the right. Swing your hips to the left. Look over your right shoulder at your right foot. Get a nice stretch through the side body. Find what feels good there. Moving at your own pace. you feel good with that, we will keep the right hand planted, come back to tabletop, and then you're just gonna put your left hand on the back of your low back. Try to twist and open up through the chest. Good, and then bring it back to tabletop when you feel good. Same thing on the other side. Right hand to low back, twisting, opening up through the chest. And bring it back to center. All right, so for this part, we're gonna come back to tabletop. You may wanna widen your hands a little bit. You'll probably need to adjust, and that's fine. Whatever works for you is fine. But I'm gonna take my right hand and I'm going to send it through this little needle, thread the needle, and I'm going to just lay down on that, extending that left hand outward. And I'm gonna use extending that right arm outward. I'm going to use my left heel of my hand to press into the mat, just to find that tension through upper back, stretching through the upper back and shoulders, opening up back there. Now you may need to use a different variation, so if you want to put your hand forward for this, that's fine. Find what feels good for you, what you can leverage to get that big upper back stretch here. And then once you've got your spot, breathe deep, feel good. Sync up with the breath. Big stretch. When you feel good, slowly with control, we'll bring it back to tabletop. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So left hand, thread the needle, bring it all the way through so that you're on the back of your tricep here. Your left arm can extend out. And then find a good hand placement for your right hand where you can leverage that weight and stretch through the upper back. When you got what you need there, you can come back to center. Autumn, are the kids still practicing with us, or is it just Cami? Just Cam, okay. All right, so we're gonna do some strong stuff. So are you strong, Cam? All right, so we're gonna start by, so you are in tabletop, all fours. Keep the hands planted where they are. You're just gonna send one foot back and then the other for plank pose. If this is too much, you can do the modified plank pose, just knees to the ground, feet up. That's fine, feel free to do that at any point. All right, so we're gonna start in plank pose, and from here, we're gonna take our left toes and we're just gonna tap them off the mat and bring them back. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the right. Right toes off the mat and bring them back. Same thing on the left. So sync up with your breath here. You're pressing away from your yoga mat. Think cat pose in the upper body. It's going to start to get intense, building strength, building heat. Try to keep your hips at full extension, so nice long line from the crown of your head to the tip of your tail. Do you have a tail, Cam? Make sure your tail is straight. Okay, tap off to the left. Tap off to the right. Tap off to the left. Tap off to the right. All right, we'll do two more on each side. Moving at your own pace. All right, when you're ready, Come back to plank, and then we're gonna slowly lower all the way down to the mat. Tops of the feet press against the mat. Hip bones press against the mat. Hands are in line with the rib cage. You're gonna slowly, gently press up, nice and low for the first cobra. Find what feels good in the low back. Just breathe here. And then release back to the mat. You can take one more cobra if you like. For me, that feels really good on the low back. I really love this pose. And then lower back down. And then we're gonna press back up to all fours. Knees as wide as the yoga mat. Big toes come together to touch. Send the hips back. Fingertips forward, sinking to the mat. Forehead to the mat for child's pose. If you want to roll your forehead back and forth, get a little massage here. Feels nice. Syncing up with the breath. Okay, then come pick your head up, press up onto your fingertips, and then you're going to slowly walk your fingertips off to the left, just one at a time. Find what feels good there. You should start to get a really good stretch through the right side body and the right low back, so just find a place that feels nice for you. Breathe into that. Again, you can lower your head to the floor or to the mat. And then walk those fingertips back through center. We're going to do the same thing on the right. Take a couple breaths here, breathe deep. Breathing into that left side body, that left low back, feeling that stretch. But mostly just feeling your breath, listening what your body's telling you. Alright, then when you're ready, pick up your head, slowly walk your fingertips back. We're going to come back to the all fours position. Get yourself comfortable, get yourself adjusted. Alright, then we're going to try a little side plank. So we're going to start by sending the right leg out long, then the left for plank pose. And then we're going to turn, shift our weight to the right hand, stack our feet, and send your left hand up high to the sky. Good. Find what feels good with your hand. If you want to send your hand straight up and overhead, you can do that. Engaging the abdominal wall, engaging those stabilizer muscles, feeling strong. All right, bring it back to center, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So get yourself comfortable in that plank pose, stack the feet on the left, shift your weight to the left hand, opening up through the chest. Right hand high to the sky. All right, bring it back down to the mat. Take a second to rest, in tabletop. I'm going to show you the next thing that we're going to do. We're not going to do it long, but I do want to try it. So we're going to come back to that side plank, and once you get there, you're going to take your free hand, whichever one's in the air, and you're going to thread it through and come back up. Okay, it's really going to challenge your balance. So take your time in the setup, build a nice strong side plank, and see if you can just do a few of these to start. There's always a dog in my virtual training classes. They love to see you on the floor. They want to know what you're doing. You got it, Cam? Super strong. All right, let's do the other side. We're gonna go to the right. Big side plank. Challenging the balance. And then bring it back to plank when you're ready. Slowly lower down to the mat. Press up for cobra if you want to move your hands off the mat and make it a king cobra. Find that nice low back stretch. Bring it back down. And this time we'll take it to a standard child's pose. So when you go to tabletop, bring the knees together. Send the hips back. You're going to wrap your hands all the way around. Forehead to the earth. Take a breath. Breathe deep, sink up. Let your shoulders slouch down toward the earth. Relax that upper back. If you want to roll your forehead across the mat, you can do that. And when you feel good there, you can come up to sitting. It's already 9:45. Like, how did that happen? So I guess I'll just cool us down then, because I want to show you guys my medals. So come to a comfortable sitting position. We're going to do a couple more twists. Always make sure when you're sitting, the chakra are aligned. So head over heart, heart over pelvis. You're nice and open. You can breathe deep. Listen to what your body tells you here. We're going to take another twist. So take the left hand to the outside of the right knee. Your right hand swings around behind. We're going to sit up, open up, and twist. And then swing it back around to the other side. Right hand to left knee, left hand behind. Sit up, open up, and twist. Bring it back to center. When you feel good, and then we'll just take the left hand straight up overhead, stretch nice and big, and lean it over to the right. Fill up your cup. Feeling good, feeling great, feeling ready for Sunday. And same thing on the right. Slowly lower down, right hand comes straight up, reach, 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 and bend it over to the left. Breathing deep. And back to center. And since time has flown by, we're going to bring palms together at the heart. Take a second, close your eyes, feel some gratitude for showing up today. Great job doing yoga, self-care with the family. Happy to see you all. Happy to lead you in this practice. Thank you so much for being here. Namaste.